So then going to the game the system question, that, okay, so some people say that, what if I mark the first two, three questions incorrectly knowingly? Because I mean, I'll most likely get easier medium questions in the beginning. It's an adaptive test, it will not start with the harder questions. What if I mark them incorrectly, knowingly? Let's say, I solve the question. I know the answer here is B. I mark it C. Yes, I do the same for the second question. I do the same for the third question. And they say, okay, now I have three incorrect questions, which means that the software, adaptive that it is going to say, all right, so let me bring down the difficulty level. So now probably the difficulty level of my entire test is brought down. And at the end of the test, once I reach my review window, I come back to question numbers 1, 2, and 3, and I mark the correct answers. If it is C, I mark it back to B. So I mark the option that is right below the correct answer. So I know that I just have to move up one step and change the answer. Of course, if all my answers are correct, then the software, then the algorithm has to give me a 90, right? They say that they don't penalize for changing the answers later on. So then they say, okay, how about, I game the system in this particular way. They feel why, this, it should be feasible. Now, do realize that a lot of people come up with this question. They do say that, how about uh, working at it like this? But no one has come back and said, okay, this is what I did, and I was able to take advantage of this, etc. Now, why? Think about it, that why is this not feasible? Why does no one actually try it? So you're in your official GMAT. Uh, would you be willing to, throw away your three edits? Because essentially this is what it means. When I know the correct answer and I still mark an incorrect option, I know that I need my edit, the three edits that I have, I need my edit for that particular question. By the way, it's an easier of, medium kind of question, right? As far as I'm concerned, it's an easier question, isn't it? So I have wasted my three edits on those particular three questions. Now, later on, if I get a hard question which I'm unable to solve and for which I need more time, so I want to just mark something, let's say, and bookmark it and move on and come back to it from the review window, I do not have the option to do that. Why? Because I don't have any more edits. Those first three questions, I have to correct them for sure. They are easy questions, right? And there is no way I can afford to have them marked incorrectly, because then my score is going to just plummet. So then the only person who's going to be willing to try this strategy is someone who is absolutely dead sure that, I will be able to get all the rest of the questions. I would be able to mark everything correctly, or all the other questions would be fine. I wouldn't get stuck on anything that is coming in the future. In the next, let's say, 18 questions, if I'm talking about the quant section. Yeah. Now, a person who is confident that they are able to tackle everything, no matter how hard a question they get, they anyway shouldn't be worrying about gaming the system, right? It doesn't make sense at all for them to try to game the system, try to do something stupid, right? Only a person who is not very confident in their abilities will try to do something like this. But hey, if you're not confident in your abilities, then are you really ready to throw away those three edits? Then it becomes like GMAT Classic, where you absolutely had no edits, and for the person next to you who's also taking GMAT Focus, he has that advantage while you do not have it. You just missed your advantage, right? On those simple questions. So then it just doesn't make sense for you to try any such thing. Yeah. Also understand, there is no way to say whether you were able to get advantage. Even if you try something like this, there is no way for you to say whether you were able to get the advantage. Because let's say I tried this and I got questions of a certain difficulty. Who is to say what kind of questions I would have got in case I would not have tried that? Right? In case I would have gone with the best, put your best foot forward in every question strategy, who is to say what kind of questions I would have got? So what happened versus what would have happened, that hypothetical situation can I compare them? Well, GMAT test is different for everybody, isn't it? There is no way in which I can compare what would have happened in my test had I not done this that I did, that silly thing, right? So that is why, look, there is no point, wasting your time, your energy on trying to game the system. You'll not get anywhere with that. GMAT, there was no way to game the system in GMAT Classic. People had tried for years and years to find something. There was no way to do that, and there is no way I'm 100% certain to do this, to do any such thing in GMAT Focus also. They won an award for their algorithm, guys, right? There's smart people out there. So don't try to outsmart them because it will only end up hurting you, right? Okay.